Your lipstick is colored up by the angel. I know exactly what goes on.
Welcome back to the LFFL's longest non-consecutive running predictions video show. Boy, that's a mouthful. I would have produced more of these, but I've been too busy running around the state of Missouri and absolutely dominating people in this league. But enough smack talk. Let's get to the predictions. It's unbelievable that somebody with Tom Brady, Matt Forte, Megatron, and Dez Bryant could be 2-5. But in the wacky world of the LFFL, such a thing occurs. The good news for Jeff is he's still in playoff contention and should be able to muscle his impressive squad past David's team, which has been resuscitated after he wisely got rid of that folio, Chris Johnson. This one may be closer than expected, but not enough for the perennial grad student to chalk up a W. Predicted score, Jeff 101, David 93. You know, we've all given Kevin a lot of grief over the last few weeks for fielding an absolutely atrocious fantasy football team, but I for one respect him for trying everything humanly possible to improve his situation. And the truth is, the 8th seed right now only has 2 wins, so it's entirely possible for one of the underperforming teams to stage a comeback. That team this week, though, will be Scott's team, who should be able to win without too much trouble over the fearsome combo of CJ Spiller and Noshawn Marino. Predicted score, Scott 94, Kevin 76. I distinctly remember getting frantic messages from Tom after he lost in week 1 about how his team sucked and how fantasy football was no longer fun. But aside from getting trampled by my team, Tom hasn't had much of a reason to frown, as his squad seems to be in cruise control atop a really weak division. Andy's team is getting a little bit better, but he's not going to be able to get past Tom's well-balanced group of misfits. Predicted score, Tom 91, Andy 80. Remember when I used to be the butt of every LFFL joke? Remember how my teams never really amounted to much? Well, who's laughing now? Me! Ha 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 ha! I've managed to beat both first place teams relatively decisively and mopped up easy wins over the scrubs. But my braggadocious nature will come crashing down thanks to an injury-depleted running core, as Leon Washington and a hobbly Mark Ingram probably won't be enough to withstand fiery Adrian Peterson and Fred Jackson. It's a shame because a win over John would basically seal up my division. Instead, it'll probably be a 2-person race going forward. Predicted score, John 110, J-Bomb 90. Josh embarrassed himself and probably his future children by losing to Kevin by a huge margin last week. It's a type of shame that nearly erases his impressive LFFL legacy. But Doug's luck can only run so far, and I see Josh bouncing back and winning a much-needed victory with stronger performances from Ray Rice and the law firm. It may not erase the stench of shame, but it's got to be better than nothing. Predicted score, Josh 89, Doug 83. As much as I like Matt's team, it took a big step back last week with injuries to top wideouts and running backs. Meanwhile, Mike's traditionally shrewd trading abilities allowed him to build up one of the scarier teams around. And this one would be a little bit closer if Matt's best players weren't in the infirmary or on buys, so expect a raft-tastic victory. Predicted score, Mike 104, Matt 76.